Hello gamers, I'm Shade Slayer. Here are the results from Day 5 of the PFGEsports Teamfight Tactics Tournament. Round of 16. Match 1 was won by Profdonger. Match 2 was won by the Grandfather. Here is the leaderboard after the first set of matches. Match 3 was won by Dalinar Colin. Match 4 was won by Niole Grande. Here is the leaderboard after the second set of matches. Match 5 was won by Say No to FF. Match 6 was won by Addy Rockstar. Here is the leaderboard after the third set of matches. Match 7 was won by X Abhi. Match 8 was won by Niole Grande. Here is the final leaderboard for the round of 16. The top 8 players qualify to the finals.
Finals Game 1 was won by Profdonger.
Here is the leaderboard after Game 1.
Finals Game 2 was won by Leopardiscracked.
Here is the leaderboard after Game 2.
Finals Game 3 was won by Leopardiscracked.
Here is your final leaderboard. Say No to FF finished 3rd, Profdonger finished 2nd, and Leopardiscracked is your champion of the PFGEsports Teamfight Tactics Tournament. Congratulations to all the winners and a huge shout out to the TFT community. Finishing 3rd in the PFGEsports TFT Tournament is none other than Say No to FF. What's up, man? How are you doing? Congratulations again on the finish. How are you feeling?
Thank you. It's awesome. Like, I wasn't even expecting to be able to, reach this far in the tournament. Like, everyone was so insane. So I'm really happy with what I have achieved, and I'm really glad that I was able to play.
Very glad to hear that, man. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My name is Avinash Tripathi. So right now I am in Bangalore, but my hometown is in Odisha, Sambalpur.
Very nice.
And
yeah.
And
Where, are you working or are you a student?
right now I'm not working. I'm just like trying to. I'm learning pixel art actually.
Oh, wow.
So I was trying to learn some arts and maybe get into developing games for Android.
Very nice to hear that, man.
Yeah, I have some background in Python, so I was hoping to use it for something good.
Awesome. Very nice to hear that. Tell us a little bit about your journey in TFT.
So basically, ever since I was a kid, I always liked to play online games. So when League of Legends was in season 3, I was introduced to it by some of my friends, and I was hooked onto it. Sadly, we have really high pings because we don't have any Indian servers, and it's still not there. So I used to just spam ARAM in League of Legends. There is a queue called All Random All Made, and basically you get random champions and you're thrown into a single map, unique map, and you play it out. So I used to love doing that, and then TFT was launched. So I was instantly hooked into it because it involves certain strategies, and it's whoever can perform. Like, you are solely responsible for your own actions.
Right.
And even if you're losing and even if you have like 1 HP left, you can still turn around the game. And I have like, that's the best feeling. And that's what hooked me into the game. So initially I was always platinum in set 1 and set 2, but I was never like I never got the incentive to push it higher. But when Paytm gave us the opportunity, it was something which like it just gave me a different drive, and I'm diamond right now. And thank you for giving this opportunity.
Wonderful, man. Let's talk a little bit about that last game in the finals. Going into it, it was a three-way tie on 16 points between you, Profdonger, and Leopardiscracked. What was going through your mind? Was there a specific strategy you were thinking of that you wanted to use in the finals, or were you just going to stick with your guns? You went in and you didn't get off to the best of starts. So walk us through what happened.
So basically, when it was a three-way tie, right? So it was pretty obvious that like no one else was even close. So I was hoping like if at the worst case scenario I will come third. So I was not panicking, but like if you look through the game, I hit nothing till like level 6, 7, and then like it was really unlucky. Sometimes the game throws you stuff
it's a curveball.
I couldn't like the first win I won versus someone. It was all level 1 units, and I couldn't even 2-star a single unit. So it was really unlucky game for me, and sucks that it happened at the final game. So after that, I just tried to survive. That's what I did, and I tried to pull off a battle cast mech pilot. It works if you can do it perfectly. Sadly, everyone is so good in the tournament. Like it's not like solo when you're playing on server, right? Someone is always making mistakes, and you just like you just get benefit out of that. But here, everyone is so good, so they won't leave you if you make a mistake. And I think that's why I was unable to give my best.
No, still, man, you had an amazing run throughout the tournament. You finished third. What does the future hold for you?
I'm really glad. Like, you know, as people from India, like we have been exposed to Twitch for so many years, and because of lack of infrastructure and everything, we cannot pursue a life of a. Right now, everyone is starting, but considering 2-3 years back, it was not a feasible way to stream and earn. Right. So now I'm really glad that we are advancing so fast, and I really appreciated that you guys made this tournament. Everyone was so awesome. Everyone was helping, and if given the opportunity, I really want to compete. It was so much fun. Like even if we win or lose, the kind of exposure you get and the people you meet, and then the whole hype thing, right? You're playing at such an intense game. Everyone is trying their best, and it's so much fun. Like even if, let's say, I'm so lucky that I got third. Like these people are so good. It was fun. It was fun. Like everyone everyone is in. It was fun. That's all I can say.
Awesome, man. Any final shout outs?
Yeah, I will say thank you to BC. Like I have been only playing this game myself, right? And he has this insane community. So when I entered the tournament, he's one of the moderators of Paytm Discord server, and that's how I got introduced to him. And he welcomed me with open arms. Like he welcomed me to his community. Everyone in his community are awesome. And shout out to Adrian and Leopard. These guys, like, they rock. Like they constantly make it to top, and it's like insane. It was really fun playing with them, and I will really thank BC. Like he helped me a lot understanding all the process and everything, and that calms you, right, in a tournament. Like it's the first tournament which I played, so I was quite nervous, and he helped me a lot.
Considering that, I think you've had a brilliant run throughout. Congratulations again, finishing third, man. All the best for the future.
Thank you very much.
Runner-up of the PFG Esports TFT Tournament, Profdonger. What's up, man? Congratulations. A very tight finish there at the end. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling actually very good. It was really sad that I didn't manage to get the first place, but I lost to a very good player. So to come second also means a lot to me, and I'm really happy with the result.
Break down your round of 16 matches and the three-game grand finals for us.
Um, yeah, so the round of 16 also was pretty. Actually, this entire tournament itself has been very, very tight. There are a lot of good players in the community, and it showed in this tournament. Not every game was granted, like maybe the first, the qualifiers, but when it came down to the last 16, it was neck and neck. Literally, no one is giving anyone to budge in terms of running away with the tournament. Everyone was either doing really well initially and then failing towards the end, or failing very hard in the early game and then like winning it towards the end. In the last of 16, I even played Leopard once. I
Yeah.
beat him in the first game of the last of 16, and that was actually set the tone for how the rest of the tournament went on today. But then when it came down to the finals, it was like a rematch. But since he had a way better early start and like the composition he got on early, uh, it was like I was really clutching at straws to actually give him a run for his money. But the top 16 was very, very tough, very competitive. Um, there were a lot of good players. Gaurav, my good friend, was in the 16th, so he was giving me quite a headache. Ati, Dandis, Bishi as well, who I managed to also coach and has actually done really well in this tournament. I really am proud of how he's developed as a TFT player, and I hope that he can continue this and probably rank higher in the competitive league. But yeah, the top 16 was very competitive. There were a lot of people. Actually, there were actually a few people that are not part of the community, which is why it was a little difficult as to know exactly how well they played, and they were pretty good as well. They even made the last eight,
Right.
and but I knew for a fact that as long as I get a win in my four games, it would be easy to like qualify for the finals. So luckily, I got that out in the first game itself, and the other three games, I came second in one, but the other two I did come fifth in both, and it came down to like uh, scores wherein there was only a point difference between the top eight, and luckily I had managed to qualify for the finals in that regard.
Awesome.
And obviously the final eight,
Yeah.
it had the creme de la creme. It had the best players literally in this tournament. I really actually there are a few people that I would like to like mention, like the Shy, Abhi, all of these guys who are actually very good TFT players who didn't manage to get to the 16, if not the finals. But like they're really good players, and I hope that this doesn't discourage them and that it pushes them on to participate more in tournaments as well as grind the rank queue. So yeah.
Very nice to hear that, man. Let's talk a little bit about game three of the finals. It was a three-way tie going in, and right off the bat, you didn't get off to the best of starts. What happened?
Yeah, so the thing is, if you were to calculate how many games we played, it's about 15 games in this entire tournament. And the thing about TFT is you shouldn't play something that you're not really well versed in. And like if you don't know how the comp works, then it's really hard to like transition, or you don't know what if your itemization is not good. So I actually have been playing one comp throughout the entire tournament. Mostly like 80% of my games were the same comp. So I was running Brawler Blasters, and the thing is, the finals I knew for a fact, considering that game three it was the decider between me, Leopard, and Say No to FF, and if I were to do anything different from what I already know, then I'm definitely not winning it or
Right.
even placing in the top three. So I knew for a fact I just had to stick to my game plan and just hope that I get the units. Sadly, since it again was like the final game, everyone was playing really hard. Even though in game three, it was only between me, Leopard, and Say No to FF. Um, the other players were still like playing really hard, and
Yeah.
at a point, I was just telling them, "Guys, calm down. Like, at least give us a fighting chance between the three of us. Like, why you make it difficult for all of us?" So the thing was, Leopard got all his units, all his items very early, and he
Yeah.
was win streaking right at the beginning itself. So once and I had literally the opposite. I got only once like star units up till like round 3 or 4, and I didn't find my win condition. I didn't find my items. I was losing a lot of health early, and by the time I had actually got my composition ready, it was it was way too late. And it had reached a point wherein Leopard had like maxed out his levels, maxed out all the units that he had in terms of leveling them up, as well as getting the right items to counter my composition. So more than like being beat because I play badly, it was beat well by a player who's actually at the top of his game or who really knows how to play competitively. And it hats down to Leopard because he really gave it was in the final game, it was definitely like no doubt that this guy was going to be the winner of the tournament, and he proved it right there. And even though I did come second, even in the last game, it was still like a little gutting that no one else actually managed to beat him throughout the middle of the game. So if that had happened, maybe things would have been different, or if I hadn't lost so early, things would have been different. But we can't change anything now, and I'm actually really happy for him, and I'm actually proud of the way that I've come out at this tournament. Like to come second in the Paytm's first TFT tournament uh, from all the 250 players, it's actually quite an achievement. I'm actually happy with this result.
Yeah, that's a pretty mean achievement already, man. We talked the last time we caught up about the friendly rivalry between you and the grandfather. And back then, I remember me bringing up the fact that, hey, it would be really awesome if you guys met in the round of 16 or maybe even in the finals. And it so happens it happened on both counts. You met, you played with or against the grandfather in the fourth match of the round of 16 as well as in the grand finals as well. How was that feeling alone?
I'm glad you brought that up. After the qualifiers, when we knew that the top 16 were announced, we both were placed in two separate lobbies. And after the first few games, like the first 3 games, we never managed to play against each other. And we both were still like pretty even in terms of how many points we had both got. So obviously, when it came to game 4, it was more about like how do we outwit the other at the same
Right.
time, not ruin each other's friendships at the same time. So actually, in that particular game, I did come second, but poor for Gaurav, I was the one that actually made him come fifth because I was the one who actually knocked him out. So that was actually a good feeling personally because I knew for a fact that he would be really like upset that I was the guy who actually knocked him out or didn't give him a top 4. But at that point, we both had achieved the minimum amount of points to
Yep.
qualify for the finals. So we knew for a fact that we were going to get to the finals anyway. So in that regard, it was really awesome that we both made it. But at the same time, in the finals, it kind of ended up being a 3-horse race between Leopard, myself, and Say No to FF because everyone else in the tournament, including like Ati and Bishi, I don't know what, but like they were basically fighting for the bottom 4, and it was kind of how you say it was weird to see that these guys are trying a lot of different things in the finals,
Right.
and like I was, it was like in the final game you should be playing your best comps or comps that you're very familiar with, but then these guys are trying like different things, they're experimenting. It didn't work out for the first 2 games of the finals, and once it came to the third game they were like it really doesn't matter at this point. So they kind of just did whatever they did. And yeah, so it was mostly between the top four essentially, because we all placed top four in most of the games. I
Yep.
think Say No to FF didn't place in the final games, but he had already got third place secured. So yeah, the finals was pretty intense. I'm happy for Garv to make in the finals, and I'm also happy that he even tried to help me by griefing the other players during the games, stealing their units, stealing their items, making sure that they don't get ahead, and so that I can get ahead. And it just goes to show how good a guy he is, as well as how good a friend he is. So I really thank Garv for everything that he's done for me, because on not just introducing me to TFT, but like helping me grind the ladder and like play the game. And just like I made such a good friend to TFT, and I'm so happy that at the end of the tournament we're still like really good friends. So, and like we haven't like ruined our friendship because of this tournament. Like to get to the finals itself was a big achievement for both of us, and we both did it. And it was unlucky that he didn't get to place, but the fact that at least one of us did was like, I think he's happy for me, and I'm really happy for him as well.
Awesome, dude. That was a wonderful end to a Cinderella story that we hoped would happen, and it eventually did. So, congratulations again, Prof. Donger, on finishing the runner-up of the PFG Esports TFT tournament. Congrats again. See you soon, bro.
Thank you, Karen. Cheers.
Cheers. The champion for PFG Esports TFT tournament, Leopardiscracked. Congratulations, man. How's the feeling like?
Thanks, bro. Feeling feeling great that I could get through. They were really like sweaty players, so just feeling good.
Awesome, man. Glad that we finally get to have this chat. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm 23. I'm an engineer. Like I just got done with my degree. I never played League of Legends like the original League of Legends, which all of these guys use. So I'm late into the community. I only play TFT because I play Fortnite or FPS games more. So this is just like a random game I explored into, and like I figured that I can be decent at.
Awesome, man. Walk us through the round of 16 matches that you played earlier today, and then the three game grand final.
Yeah, so the round of 16 matches, I was just trying to play safe because it was not easy. So yesterday when we had the round of 32, I think, or the round of 64, we had only like 16 guys qualifying out of 64. But in the round of 16, we had 8 guys qualifying, so there was ideally like a 50% chance. So all we had to do was like play a bit safe, get placement, be consistent, and you would go through because there was a higher chance based on the format. So I just tried to play safe, played what I got, didn't take too many risks. I don't like to like take unnecessary risks. So if you see my placement all over the tournament, I've never randomly like gone below fourth.
Right.
Yeah.
Walk us through a little bit of what your mindset was going into that final game of the finals. It was a three-way tie between Say No to FF, and Prof Donger, all on 16 points. So what was the strategy there?
So we actually spoke to each other. So we were like, one of us is going to win. It was like, okay, whoever takes it, takes it. No, nothing like, there's nothing like a mindset. This game, you can't go in with like, oh, I'm going to play this or I'm going to play that. You just got to respect. But last game, I feel like I got the luckiest in the last game. Like, out of the whole tournament, I think I got the luckiest in the last game. I hit everything. So I'm just like, thanks to God, sometimes you just get lucky.
Yep,
I didn't do anything.
Your HP was so high compared to, I'd say, the other two close contenders straight up from the get-go. And from that point on, I think it was just about a question of hanging on to the lead.
I just wanted it to happen.
The RNG gods on your side, man. So congratulations again. Now you have a huge win under your belt. What is the future looking like for you now?
I mean, if you guys do more tournaments, I'm always going to be playing, bro. The sad scene about TFT has been like not enough tournaments. So I mean, we are always down. The community, we have a great community, so they'll always be down to play more tournaments. I love to play, whether win or not win. Like we had fun during this tournament, which is the most important thing. I had so much fun.
Awesome, man. Very glad to hear that. Any final shoutouts?
No, final shout outs to Bishi, bro, because he organizes everything. So I've heard that he sets up the TFT tournament. So shout out to Bishi and like Sarora for hosting and like getting the scene on.
Perfect. Congratulations again, Leopardiscracked. Before we go out,
Yeah.
I personally want to know this, and I'm sure some other members in the community also are wondering the same.
What?
What's the funda behind the name Leopardiscracked?
It's from my bro. I'm a Fortnite player, and my name there is Paranoid Leopard. Okay,
Okay.
and in that game we use this lingo called cracked. So it's not used in League of Legends. It's like a Fortnite lingo. Sadly,
Right.
so I transferred into this game, and I used to play on Garena before. So my name on Garena was again Paranoid Leopard. I
Alright.
couldn't use the same, so I went to Leopard is cracked. just
Awesome, man. Congratulations again on your victory today. All the very best for the tournaments to come.
thanks, man. Cheers.
Cheers.